Hey, y'all. I'm so glad everybody made it.
Hey.
Hello.
Welcome to everybody listening. This is our first 5D Wifey Material podcast. I'm Carolyn, your glow up expert.
That's right.
More about that later. We have my daughter here, Laiva, and then my son is sitting in until my other daughter comes to talk about 5D Wifey Material and what we want to do with this. Sergio. Welcome.
Hey, guys.
So 5D Wifey Material. This started as a dating site, but I realize in the dating field today, we need more than that. We need a community where we can just grow and heal alongside dating. Because I'm realizing there's a lot of unhealed daters out here.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I happen to be, I have masters in therapy, but I'm still healing myself. I've had a very tumultuous, that's how you say the word, y'all know what I mean?
Right.
Background, but I've overcame so much, and I want to help with that. I want to help young women. I want to help all women, actually, and men to become the best they can be, heal the trauma, and then find their perfect partner. So when you think of 5D Wifey Material, what do you think?
Well, first, I want to say that this has definitely been in the works for a long time. I know this has been your passion for years now, and it's finally coming to fruition. So that's a beautiful thing. I feel like you finally are getting alignment of what you're truly passionate about. So that's always an awesome thing.
Thank you.
When I think about wifey material, I think about a community. I think about a village that you can have behind you. I think about resources that you can take advantage of. Yeah, nobody can do it alone. You have to have people behind you.
Exactly. You
That's
get
right.
it. A village.
Yes.
A village of like-minded people who are tired of 3D living the
That's
same
right.
old, same old. We'll get into more of that later too. But I implode you, imply you. I'll be trying to talk. I am smart. To just look up 5D and how we all could be living in a more loving atmosphere and just a better way of living and loving together.
For sure.
So that's what we're trying to accomplish. So the male's perspective, what do you think of?
I'm not sure how I feel about wifey material just yet.
Okay, that's fair.
It's very general, but I do like 5D, and I like how it compares to 3D.
Yeah.
And how you add a couple layers that you can't see, because the 3D consists of, what you can see, but the 5D is more spiritual. So you want those last two layers can really, give you a fulfilled life, and help you stay in a mindset of joy on a daily basis, which is going to be conducive to finding the perfect partner.
Man, they get it. So it started as a dating site, but it's much more. It's more of a community building site of just people on your same trajectory who want to live a better life, a more fulfilled life, a more healed life, and in hopes of finding your perfect partner when that's supposed to be, when God ordains that for you. I feel like we can't choose that time, but we can build strong relationships until that comes
for sure,
to help support us with that. So I got one quote that really reminded me of that. And it says, if the people in your circle aren't contributing to your growth, then you're not in a circle. You're in a cage.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to build a humongous circle where everybody's growth-minded set. Something like that. I'm trying to say that. But you know what I mean? And that's where we're at with it. So 5D, who is it? 5D is a site where you become your highest self in hopes of finding your dream partner. So you get support from a loving community, like you were talking about. It's a dating site and a companion healing site. We'll have in-person events, live streams, just lots of support for healing and relating. I don't have all the answers, and I know nobody out there does, but I think together we can just help each other elevate.
For sure.
I believe we all been sold a lie that being wanted by many equals happiness. And that's what they're feeding us now in the media of they're trying to put men and women pitted against each other.
Yeah,
and
sure.
The questions, why do I need a man? Or what do women even have
50,
to offer?
50 conversations, all that. Like, I cannot.
Gosh, it's crazy.
Right. It's consistently dividing each other. That's what the whole... That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to
stop perpetuating division.
Exactly. We're doing the exact opposite here.
That's right. We're coming together.
The opposite sex is not our enemy. Mm-mm. We're not enemy. God put us here to be as one together, to live happy and holy.
For sure.
But we're not doing that as far as I've seen. And I've looked everywhere where you could do that and I couldn't find it. Mm-hmm. So 5D wifey material is being born now. Still pregnant with her.
That's right.
I will say, I do like that, because my mom's been having this dream for a long time. Mm-hmm. It's not just something that she came up with a couple years ago. I remember before you even graduated college, you had wifey material that you were trying to lift off. But now you added 5D to it, which just kind of shows your growth. Of course, you're not the same Carolyn. So, So I don't know. I thought that was really cool, because it's still...
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you. I was reading something the other day, which I think is going to be not only... It's going to be cool because we're cool. And
That's
so
right.
This is how we do. But helpful, because I was reading like suicide rates, especially among young men,
For sure.
are higher than ever.
Mm-hmm.
People are sadder than ever. People are more confused than ever. And I believe it's because they're feeding us this lie of being alone, doing it all by yourself. Mm-hmm. That's isolation. Mm-hmm. Isolation is punishment in prison.
It's true.
Yeah, we're definitely, that's not the way to do it. We're supposed to come together.
Right.
And just to pick it back on what you were saying earlier, a lot of people feel as though, I don't know if you said this earlier, but I just wanted to make a point.
Yes, please.
A lot of people feel as though they need to be healed to find somebody.
Yes.
Right. You just need to be in the process of healing. I hope everybody's on that trajectory. And I feel like this website is for people who are looking for serious relationships, like a woman who's ready to be a wife, ready to find her husband, and a man who is also ready to find his wife.
Yes.
This is for serious people who are really looking for a community and really looking for a companion in this lifetime.
Right. Right. And not looking for anybody to fix them or heal them.
That was my point. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I meant to pick it back off of. That you have to be the love of your life.
Ooh, say
first.
it again. Say it again.
You
and say
have
it slowly.
to be. You have to be the love of your life.
Oh, yes. I just like the way it sounds.
That's right.
I was arguing with somebody on Facebook. There was a status. There was a status somebody posted, and they were saying how you can't be in a relationship until you're healed. I don't know what the status was about, but somebody was in the comments saying that, and I was trying to point to them that may be true to a certain extent, but some things you can't heal unless you're in a relationship, 100%. Which I feel like we've talked about before.
Yes,
you kind of have to do the trial and error, the 10,000 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of blind spots you can't see until you're in a relationship.
Yes.
So you can think that you're healed and you're happy until somebody comes into your space. And you're like, hold on, I didn't know I still needed healing there.
Your heart space.
Yes.
When somebody you can be happy with what's the word? Surface level relationships all day long and think you're healed. But when somebody comes and touches your heart, all that childhood stuff is finna come back up. And you want to be with somebody who cares about what you've been through and wants to help you heal that, as long as you're wanting to heal it too. You can't expect them to do it for you, but you can expect them to go along that journey with you, and y'all help each other grow in love.
Providing support.
Exactly. Providing understanding, getting to know you. Oh, this could be a trigger for Sergio, or this happened to Laiva. So maybe I'll bring that up in a different way. Somebody who has that wherewithal. And let's not forget, you doing the same for the other person.
100%. Realizing,
hey, maybe I need to change some things for them. They're worth it. They're trying. They're healing. That's what we're looking for. Them type of people
100%.
That want to heal and grow in love. and really show each other that you're not alone.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be perfect to find a relationship. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah,
stop waiting.
Nobody.
You're going to be alone forever if you wait for that. Or if you're waiting on that perfect person. You know, we've all seen that meme of the old lady sitting on the park bench waiting on the perfect man.
Exactly.
There's no such thing.
And I notice a lot of times people give up in relationships, or like people start to step back because somebody is being a little too human.
Yes.
We're all human.
Yes.
It's like
my gosh.
Your humanness is showing. I need you to go back to that perfectness. Nobody is perfect.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You have to accept people for who they are. And if you truly have a genuine connection with somebody, be willing to work on yourself, be willing to adapt to them, be willing to, see where their blind spots are, see where your blind spots are. It's just being open to working on you.
Yes.
Because that's the only person that you're accountable for. That's the only person you can change is yourself.
Right. And in hopes, whoever you're doing that with has
it's
that same
also
mindset.
On that trajectory, for
so
sure.
It's not all on you.
Right.
Well, we got my other daughter who just came in. She's the other face of 5D wifey. So she's going to take the place of my son because he's not wifey material, unfortunately. He is working on being
wifey material. You looking for a wifey
perspective.
Hello,
Hey.
the audience.
I know.
So I got a question.
My skin is
Jordan,
peeling.
right here. Oh, you just got back from the beach, huh? Go right here. You got a little skin right there. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Yes, we always want a man's perspective.
Yes.
Nice.
But welcome, Jordan.
Yes. This is your camera right here.
That's my camera. Thank you. Keeping Mikey in
right
the streets.
here.
Mikey in the streets.
Yes.
So according to Wifey Material 5D,
Uh-huh.
how do you set healthy boundaries?
That's really good. That I feel like boundaries is a personal issue. It's we were just having this conversation yesterday. Boundaries are there to keep you so you stay regulated. So anything on the outside that makes you come out of that regulation, set a boundary. No matter how that other person, it doesn't matter. Say, look, you do it nicely, but this is not something I can work with. You know, I love you. If you can change that, we can rock out. If you can't, I have to exit because this is taking me out of my regulation. Now,
Yeah.
it could be something that doesn't dysregulate somebody else. That maybe is triggering your trauma, but that's why you have to put your boundaries on that until you work through it. That was my understanding of boundaries. How about you guys?
So I'm going to have a little confrontational take on this because I don't talk about my boundaries.
You don't?
I don't.
Okay.
I literally just live them. So for instance, let's say we're on a date, right? And you get a phone call. Hey, pick up your phone. Go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead.
You're right.
I walk away. That's it. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to do it. And I'm going to keep doing that every time you do it till you get the point.
Well, you got.
I know. I know the one time, someone's like, "So why'd you walk away?" I was like, "Oh, you were on the phone."
So this is telling me, okay.
Well, I personally, I think how I approach it is a balance. I don't automatically bring up that it's going to bother me because me personally, I want to make sure that I'm communicating my boundary efficiently. And I want you to know, this bothers me. So, so I'm a little bit in the middle. I'm going to let you answer your phone call. And then later on, when I really thought about how I want to approach me setting this boundary, I'm going to approach it. And I'm a believer that it's not what you say, but how you say it. So I'm going to approach it in a very efficient manner, and I feel like I can't approach it efficiently if I just say this is bothering me right now, in the moment. So I need to sit, I need to think about how I want to approach this. That's how I set a healthy boundary.
Right. And you are a very effective communicator. I think out of everybody in this room, you are probably the most effective.
Thank you.
You do.
You need to communicate better. I love you.
So no,
but you need to tell them at least one time.
So I used to communicate.
You got to tell them once.
So this is one thing that I learned. This is one thing that I learned. No, because I'm not mad at you. I let you live. But I learned that men generally learn by action than by talking.
Yes, absolutely.
So I stopped talking because that's one thing that I learned. I can talk. I'll say, hey, that bothers me. Hey, I don't like it. And the most effect, hey, can we not do that? Can we find a better way? It's going to keep happening until you see an action.
Yeah.
And so that's why I only move with action now. When it comes to men, I like, if it's a girl, of course, we can communicate. We can figure it out because we are communicating beings. That's how we generally communicate with each other. With men, it's always action. Yes. So if I say something and my action doesn't line up, therefore it's muddy. So if I keep telling you to take out the trash and I end up taking out the trash, you will never take out the trash, even though I keep communicating that you should take it out. But if I do it, it's never going to get done because he knows that it's going to get done eventually somehow. So if I walk away every time, let me not answer this because that's what's going to happen. You have actual like repercussions.
Yeah.
Versus
It's the second time. I'm going to say it the first time and the second time
because before you came in, we were talking about how every single one of us is dealing with trauma, men and women.
Right.
So I just worry about that could be a good guy who has a trauma with somebody walking away. Maybe mom did it. Maybe grandma did it. And he makes it a bigger deal than you just being mad about the phone.
Good.
You're but you're triggering him where you didn't even give him a chance to do differently.
So no, I want to trigger him. Because I'm triggering a response. So here's the thing. So if you are, let's say you have a trigger of, I told you it's going to be like confrontational. So if you have a trigger of abandonment and I got up and abandoned you, you are now going to want to solve this problem. What just happened? Where did things go wrong? I'm now
only
triggered.
If you're
I don't
aware,
like this.
Though, if you're not, he's going to say she's a bitch.
Oh, that's okay too.
But he's not in a healing. Yeah, he's still.
If he's like here, if he's there. But usually, I don't really talk to too many men who are here, so I haven't had that experience. But usually, if it's like you're here, it's like, oh wait, I didn't like this exchange.
Right.
What's going on?
Right.
Okay, well you're on a phone, and this because if you have a bigger reaction, what I find sometimes, a lot of times, is that men love to downplay how women feel. So it's like,
true.
Okay. Oh, why do you have a problem with me answering my phone? It's my phone. I can answer it. It was a business call. It was this call. It was this. You will have all the excuses. But when you felt it, it changed something.
It's true.
Because now I don't have to have the conversation twice. I don't ever have the conversation at all. I'm going to walk away. So if you want to argue with me, I don't argue with men. I'm going to walk away. And Idris Elba said this. He said the reason he knew his wife was his wife is that anytime he went to argue, he walked away. She walked away. She didn't argue with him.
She refuses to argue. Now, I don't say argue, but you do need to learn to communicate what's bothering you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
100%.
But if it turns to argument, I would leave too. I'm not arguing.
Like, so if it's worth communicating, I feel like if something is verbally based, we can do it. If something is actually based, I'm never going to take that trash out. I'm going to let it overflow.
Yeah,
because it's your trash too.
Yeah,
you have to see this. So I'm I don't have to tell you. Oh, because now we're nagging, and men love to call women nags. And what is nagging? Talking about something more than once.
More than once. Yeah, but once. Once I'm gonna give you one time, and then I'm doing action too. Like I've already told you, exes can attribute to this. Like I'm gonna tell you one time. And then that's it.
And that's all.
And if I don't see you respond, I'm gonna move differently after that. Because I don't want to beg. I don't want to nag. That's just not me. I'll just move. But at the same time, I want people to have grace with my stuff. So how do you show men grace? Because they're dealing with the same stuff, just in a different way as us.
I'm not saying no grace. I'm just saying let the action speak. So I'm giving you grace by letting you I'll get up a few times and then until it clicks. And then you learned, because I'm not going to just keep nagging you about it. But that's me being graceful personally, is that I'm not going to be like, oh, if you don't do it, I'm done.
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
You can learn.
Okay.
Take your time.
Well, okay. Like everybody's different.
I feel the man, was going to take the same course of action with your, if you're doing something they don't like.
That's good for him. No, I really do think that's good for him.
Take the same course of action, or should he approach it differently?
Again, I'm a girl. I'm communicative. So you can talk to me. And I'll change because you talk to me. Most men don't operate on the same motherboard. So we have two different wirings.
Yeah.
So if you want to say something, which again, I also find men don't say something when something bothers them. So you can
tell by they've changed. The energy has changed. And you can even say, what's wrong?
Nothing. So they won't even communicate it. So again, he already took the same action. But we're saying it differently because, I took the same action. I'm a girl.
Yeah.
So now that we know that men are not communicative, is that okay, or is that something they need to change?
I feel like it's Go ahead. That's somebody else speak.
I feel like that's personal too. Mm-hmm. You know, does a man want to learn to be a better communicator? Does he want to make the person he's with feel more connected, more happy? Does he want, you know, happy wife, happy life, happy husband, happy house? Does he want to get better?
So, but is that the only way to resolve it, though?
It's communication.
I'll say 50-50.
I say communication.
Because, yes, 100%, but our version of communication is different than theirs.
It's different, yes.
So,
no,
yes.
So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, not they have to learn to communicate our way. Sometimes we also have to learn what they're saying as well.
True.
Mm-hmm. So, again, I think 50-50, you need to learn how to halfway communicate. And then halfway, we need to learn how to communicate with you. Right. Okay, so when he does this means this.
Mm-hmm. Like, learn your person. We just talked about that. Yeah. We all need to learn each other and how they communicate. And most men do communicate non-verbally. They'll do, but I'm learning, okay, this is how he's showing me that without saying it. But that's each individual person wanting to learn them individually. So I agree. But communication is important.
Communication is important on both ends. So it's like, we can't expect men to fully learn how to communicate as women if we're not going to learn how to communicate as men as well.
Yeah. Right. That's true. And we were just talking about how you can heal all you want alone, but until somebody comes in and touches your heart, you're going to get all that childhood stuff is about to come up. Mm-hmm. An awakened woman will trigger an unawakened man, and an awakened man will trigger an unawakened woman. Mm-hmm. So our goal here at 5D is figure out, am I awakened? Or, you know, where am I at?
Right.
Where do I want to be? And can I find a partner that can help me ascend and vice versa?
And I feel this, and I'm going to say this, you are not with the right person if they're not triggering you.
Controversial.
You don't bring the controversy.
You're not. It's not real. I mean, they're not touching that deep part.
Right.
It's comfortable. It's easy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they're not touching. They're not touching that tenderness. That they ain't touching it. They not reaching that spot. I mean, in other words. So,
and that's something people say. Like, oh, it's not meant to be. I'm like, that's how you know it's meant to be.
Right.
Like, they need to trigger something. That part you thought you healed.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's how you know that you truly have a connection with somebody. If they can get you to a point where you're triggered, like, when you can truly be vulnerable and open your heart and be triggered and be like, oh my God, that means like, okay, this might be actually something serious.
Right. But wait a minute. That could also, definitely that.
Because what's the difference of that and it being toxic?
Right. Well, there's a trauma bond.
That's a different thing. That's a different thing.
Right.
Trigger you to growth.
Trigger you to growth.
Exactly.
Right. And of course, there's no abuse.
Trigger you to throw the hands.
Right. Well, even abuse mentally or emotionally, you know, there's no abuse happening.
Right.
They're just being them, triggering you in whatever way.
Exactly. They're being human. Their humanness is triggering you. Not them being toxic and triggering you.
Two completely different things.
Exactly. Let's define that line. Well, of course, abuse is abuse, physical. But
mental abuse is hard.
Huh?
Mental abuse is hard to know when you're being.
Well, any name calling.
True.
That's
I think
unacceptable.
Abuse could go back to what Jordan says. If I'm constantly showing you or telling you this doesn't work for me, and you're not adhering to what I need in some type of way, you ain't got to change totally, but I got to see a little effort. Like, wow, he cares that this bothers me. Then that's a form of abuse.
I would say that's personal abuse. You abused yourself with that one.
True. Because the first time he abused you, the second time you did it to yourself.
That one.
Very true. Emotional abuse can just be ignoring somebody for too long.
That is.
Saying things and not doing them. That's abuse. Oof. That messes with you mentally. You know what I mean? Trigger.
Breathe. It's okay.
That's like a number one red flag for me.
Those actions have to match those words.
Yes. Don't say you're going to do something, but don't do
it. Me too.
I hate that.
Me too. But the timing... But I got to know you're going to do it. Because we can all talk, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Might not happen in that time, but at least follow up.
Next time you say you're going to do something, I'm going to be like,
yeah, all right.
We'll see.
Right. So at 5D, we want people who want to get triggered into being better. So I get what you're saying. It should trigger you. Oh, dang, I still need to work on this.
Right.
Yes. And somebody that understands that and will have compassion with that and wants to heal too. Because nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. So if somebody's coming in like, I don't need anything,
whoa,
you're in the wrong place.
That's a red flag.
Yeah, you're in the wrong place. This is not for perfect people.
Right. You either are lack self-aware
yes.
or you are just not big of a narcissist.
Yes.
And that is crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
When you always think it's everybody else's issue and there's nothing that I did that could go wrong.
That's one thing I always ask somebody if like I'm on a date or something. And I'm like, so why did, like what happened with your last relationship? Yeah. Like, what did you learn? Mm-hmm. I learned that this girl was crazy. Oh, red flag. Red flag.
What did you learn about yourself, sir? What did you learn about yourself?
I learned not to trust women. Whoa. Women lie too.
All women are the same.
I was like, whoa, okay, so you learned nothing about you.
Yeah. And that's funny. It is funny, but it's more serious. And I was getting on this, I think, when you walked in, that talking about just like suicide rates being higher for younger men now and higher singleness, higher suicide rates. We were not meant to do life alone. We're meant to do it with community, but even more so, the greatest blessing is a partner to do it with. We're each other's blessing if we're fully in tune and fully aware of what we want, where we're going, and wanting to help each other. So this is needed for a fun thing, but also like saving lives. Like people are out here isolated and lonely because of the propaganda going out now that we're enemies. You know, why do I need a woman? Why do I need a man? Well, God put us to be together. Mm-hmm. That's why. And the right woman, the right man is only going to elevate your life.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, where is that at? Where can we find that at? 5D. Yeah. That was the whole point and purpose of that. So, yes. Yeah. What do you think is the biggest reason people aren't connecting and marrying like they're used to?
Me personally, okay. I think social media has a huge aspect of that. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people look for their connection through media, and that has made in-person connection hard for people. Yes. So I feel like a lot of times people are quick to say something, to slide in your DM, to say something on the internet, comment on your picture. But when it comes to being in person, they don't know how to act.
Yes.
They don't know how to approach.
Right. Don't know how to connect in person.
Exactly. So I think that's a huge problem now. Yeah, I feel like we need to get outside and do more connecting, look into eyes, try to look into your soul.
Right.
I can't see that through the phone.
Right. I don't see what you smell like. You know what I mean? I don't even know that.
You look like a
stink. You don't know. Like, you don't know what breath or body odor smells like online.
You know what I will say about online, though, that is a good thing?
Okay.
Like, sometimes it helps you give people a chance that you wouldn't normally give a chance to.
That's very true.
That's nice too for them sometimes.
Very true. Yes.
Yeah, because I met somebody and I would have never given them a chance in real life before.
But the personality.
And then and then it's like when like we met in person, I was like, I would have never spoken to you. like look at those jeans.
I would have initially judged, not my type.
Like I talk a lot about those pop the balloon people, but like leave those jeans alone. Find the heart. But those jeans
not pop the balloon. I actually want to do a pop the balloon.
We should do it.
We are.
I got a location if we want to really do it.
Really?
Yeah, we can do it. I have a hookup on a location.
Yes, invite like 10 guys and 10 girls.
Yeah.
And that would be
I just
really
don't
fun.
know any guys that just don't want me personally. Like, that's why I'm like, I can't invite anybody.
Oh, you invite because you're only one. So they all can't have you, so they have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Come meet new people.
Right.
I don't want you. Somebody might.
Right, but we could be friends. And I wish you well on your journey.
That's my text I give when I meet people. I say that all the time.
You're only one person, and there's only one person for you.
True. So, there's only one.
Right. There's only one perfect. I believe there's only one perfect person.
I disagree. Because what if that person gets eaten by a shark or something? Like, now there's no more person.
They die?
Yeah.
They die, God will send you another one.
Exactly. There's multiple if they're not there. Once they get away.
Yes.
This is your backup. Your backup number one.
No, but back to what you were saying, we're not meant to be alone. This is very, very true. And I think that that's a big problem in our society right now. And it's the huge propaganda of, I'm like, I was hanging out with this one guy and he was like, yeah, I don't really need a woman. I cook and clean and do all myself. I was like, so you just think of women as maids?
Right.
Yeah.
Like that you...
Yeah.
What?
It's a chef and a maid.
Well, that's what the propaganda is feeding society right now.
I'm going to jump in there. I think it's women too who don't know who they are.
True. But propaganda feeding them that all they are is tits and, that's all they have to offer is their physical, and that's the least of what they have to offer. And like, they say,
oh, I cook, I clean. Like, miss, you're not the help.
Right.
Like, that's
Robots
a nice
about to be
thing.
doing that.
Mm-hmm. Robots are about to do that. Robots are about to do lashes. Right. I saw that in China, like Japan, they were doing lashes. I was like, ooh, y'all about to get these prices down, Atlanta.
You know what? That's a good thing.
Right, exactly. Robots doing
lashes is out of control.
Too much.
But let's digress. Come on back.
It's I'm gonna get a little spiritual here, but God is, as you were saying, God made us to be together, and not just men and women, but also community.
Yes,
and communities have been coming. Women communities have been under attack. Men communities, we were community-based people.
Exactly,
tribes. We are tribe-based people, and we're so isolated and so independent versus interdependent, and that's the problem. And the Bible never speaks on anybody being independent.
Right.
You're always with someone.
Yes.
Moses had Aaron. Everybody's always connected to somebody. And so for that aspect, it is definitely the work of this world to keep us separated, because it keeps us from living in God's true glory. Because God himself is 3 in 1.
Yes.
He not even alone. He said, I could have did it dolo.
But that's not how we're, as human beings, we can't flourish to our highest capacity.
You can't.
Solo.
No.
You can't. There's only a certain level you're going to get solo. Every man, don't you notice, like every king, they have a queen.
Yes.
For a reason. And if she's not cooking and cleaning. You know what I mean?
That is not the job.
It's because he needs that person when he lays in bed that night to bounce stuff off of, that emotional support, that person who's holding it down for him so he doesn't have to think about everything himself. Every great man needs that. And I believe every great woman deserves a husband.
Yep.
I agree. And that's the problem that most women don't have, that they're not a safe place for a man.
Yes. They're not even a safe place for themselves.
The man just, what did you say?
They're not even a safe place for themselves.
Where is my safe place?
Where is my safe place? So 5D, we're going to work on becoming safe places for each other.
Ooh, I love that.
For each other.
So how do you create the safe space logistically?
For a man, or just for each other?
If you're a wife and you're trying to be a good wife for the man, how do you create this place?
That's
some ways.
Peace.
Yeah,
peace. You can disagree and still
you can live in a
peace.
home. I mean, you can live in a house, but I'm gonna make it a home. Like I'm gonna make sure that everything is done right. Like I'm just here to have your back. I'm here to help you evolve in any way that you need to. Like you said, I'm here to bounce stuff off of you. Yeah. I'm here when the world has beat you up and you feel like you've had the most tiredest day. I'm here so you can come lay on me, so you can come talk to me. I'm here to be the feminine energy you need at the end of the day.
Divine feminine.
That's right.
That's what a divine feminine is, the ruler of the spiritual world. So of the temperature, the tone of the house, that's on the woman. She's supposed to fill it with love. You're supposed to come home and just recharge so you can go back out there and do what you need to do as a man. The divine masculine is the head of the physical space. We have to make sure that their head is right, their emotions is right, so they can go out there and conquer the world and go bring back the meat.
That is
as far as the eat.
I love that.
As divine feminines, it's our job to keep the home at a certain vibe so he can flourish as best as he can. And that usually starts with being peaceful and always having a peaceful vibe. Even if there's disagreement, there doesn't have to be tension. There's a way to do that. And if you're healed, most people don't have that in them, including me. I'm just learning this myself. So don't sit here and think that I'm preaching.
The guru.
I'm learning this myself because it was never modeled to me. And if it was never modeled to a lot of people, how do you know that? How do you know even how to create a peaceful home? Like you were saying, you blaming women. You saying they don't know how to do it.
Because it's circling back around what we talked to earlier. Women are not the love of their lives. You have to be the love of your own life to be somebody, the love of somebody else. Right. So women don't have that. They're a little lost. So for the women who are the love of their lives,
right?
Are open.
You gotta love you.
That's it. A lot of people, they don't.
So let me clarify me blaming women. And this is why I blame women. Okay. And it's an old woman who taught me this.
Okay.
And It was wisdom. So it was some wisdom. And I couldn't comprehend it until recently. And I remember I was about 16 years old and she was like, yeah, you know, I had all the men all over me and I was doing this. And I was with, I don't know if you remember Deja, but I'm going to say her name. And she was like, Deja was saying, she was like, what was you doing? She was like, I was doing my feminine thing. And we were like, so you was sexing them? Let's break it down. I was doing my feminine thing. And we couldn't comprehend what she was saying. So automatically we went to sex.
Because that's what our generation generated it. Yes.
That's all you have to offer.
I could flip it, I could stick it, I could do this, I could.
Right. And so when I'm saying that is that it was passed on. To women. And this is why I'm blaming women, because I can't go sit at my grandmother's feet and she teach me how to do my feminine thing. And so when that's what I'm saying, not the woman herself, but the matriarchy of womanhood, of going around my aunts and learning how to wind my hips and learning how to cook something and how to do this and how to do my feminine thing and create a safe space where that man comes home and he can rest. I didn't learn that feminine thing. And not saying me personally, but I'm saying that as women, we have lost that. So when we take our nieces and our granddaughters and our daughters, and we don't just sit there and say, don't talk about sex. We don't do that. But we show you how to be feminine. And this is where I'm saying, okay, you don't have to be in survival mode. I'm going to make you safe. And I'm going to bring you safety as the woman in our lives, as the young ladies in our lives, and show you how to do your feminine thing and keep that light that's inside of you. Because I always say, if you look at a young girl under the age of 5, she hasn't been tainted by the world yet. And you can see what that light. Feminine thing is.
See that light.
You see that joy. When a man comes home and she runs, Daddy, where's that energy? Man loves that energy. Like, do your feminine thing and harness it and not shame you out of it. Because what we do now is shame women out of being feminine. Especially like, oh, toughen up, be a man, do this, don't cry like a girl. Like you're shaming her out of being feminine. And that's why I'm saying I blame women in our own tribal aspect. Not in like, it was her fault, she do this. Like the man's not. But I'm saying
most people only do what they know.
They're only doing what you know.
That reminds me, and I know we got to wrap it up pretty soon here. Growing up, I love T.D. Jakes. And he said, don't talk to your man like you talk to your girlfriends.
Ooh.
That didn't and I was like, until I sat there and I'm like, oh, wow. That's some real stuff. My feminine thing. Stuff you have to teach or you just don't know, you know? And you're like, why is he off? Or why is he being quiet? Or why isn't he coming home as early as I want him to? Well, he's coming home to a homie. You know, he's not coming home to that feminine woman. That's going to make him rush home.
You know what I mean? That's my pet peeve. That's my pet peeve right there. Where they're like, I'm going to hook to the camera on this one. That's my pet peeve. When it's like, oh, we got to be homies. That's my boy. That's my best friend. 100% your mate should be your best friend. But he should be your best friend second and your lover first.
Whoa, yes.
Controversies hate that. Because everybody wants to, this my best friend. Like, no, that's not.
I'm learning. I'm still learning that.
That is my best friend. Yes. But that's my lover first. And I honor him because familiarity breeds disrespect and it breeds dishonor. And so if you're not honoring a person, this goes for male and female, you will treat them commonly and you won't have the respect that a man needs.
Right. Exactly, which is respect is everything for a man.
Respect is everything.
What I'm hearing.
So. And I'm really disrespectful sometimes. I'm working on it.
You're working on We're all working on being better because we're trying to get
triggered. So I got one more question. Wrap up. And this is something that like bothers me with women, like being in a relationship. So sometimes some women will mistake impassivity for peace.
I can see that. I know what you mean.
The man being passive?
Yeah.
No, the women being passive. Instead of her presenting peace as, holding down the household. And
she's just passive aggressive.
She's impassive. Like it's like she doesn't care. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Well, she checked out.
Oh, yeah.
A woman is checked out at that point. She's just going through the motions, which I believe a lot of relationships are nowadays. You're just going through the motions. You kind of want to beat her, kind of want to don't. You don't care. And you can tell if they're doing that, they're there, but they're not there. They're not mentally, they're invested in what's happening. They're just going through the motions every morning.
So it's every night.
You got to get the spark back.
Well, yeah. Well, it's the individual. If they know in their mind if they're through or not. It could just be a low point, because I do believe relationships go like this. Every day is not going to be like this. Some days it's going to be like this, some days, or they just ready, they're done. That's a total personal thing.
But so why would they stay if they're already checked out?
Just for security, just for having a man there.
Some comfortability.
Okay. Well, we have to we have to definitely get men back for the next conversation. This has been awesome, I think, for the first discussion of what 5D wifey material is and what we're trying to do.
So excited for the website. So excited for the dating app.
Yes.
So excited.
We'll be doing in-person events. The first one will be in Atlanta within the next couple months, so stay tuned. I'm trying to find the camera over here. And we look forward to seeing everybody out there who wants to move out of 3D living and move towards 5D with a great community and a perfect partner waiting for you. Thank you to my guest.
That was the perfect sign-off. I love how you did that. Yes.